All right, my people. Let's get it popping. Y'all ready to blow some cookies? The same way or the same degree that the pendulum swings to the left, it also swings to the right. Now we want to break down the psychology behind being a conduit of cosmic energy. The cosmic energy can be expressed, exposed, and expanded positively and or negatively. You are a celestial body acting as a conduit for cosmic energy. Unfortunately, most of us suffer from rumination. A rumination is a constant repetitive thought. 99.9% of the time, that constant repetitive thought is about something that you perceive as being negation or absent or negative. It is a false paradigm. But because of the negation, because of the inability, for lack of a better term, to be able to structure a thought that's based upon something positive, because the energy is negative, or should I say neutral. So we've got this energy, it's neutral. And right now, we all have this energy. It's not positive, it's not negative, it's just energy. But that energy then is molded. It is structured in a way or in a manner that creates an unnecessary over-reliance on the problem instead of the solution. And so what happens is this cosmic conduit that we are becomes fascinated, obsessed, possessed, processed by a rumination. It's like a rumor about a nation. That rumination becomes real. 99.9% of the time, the rumination is negative. Because we live in a world that promotes this negative. It's not necessarily negative. It's negative because we perceive it to be negative. And so when we look at the psychology behind what is mental total occupation, it's a trap that limits our positive expression. Because a rumination works both ways. It is a evidence-gathering thought mission. The thought has no evidence. It needs evidence to support the thought. So you just constantly are replaying usually awkward situations or negative situations. We are usually regretting or we are usually worrying. And because it's constant, it doesn't turn off even when you're sleeping. And the way that the ruminations work, the reason why they're so powerful and they're so dangerous is because it runs in the background. This negative habit pattern is so powerful that it literally becomes ingrained inside of your reticular activating system. We are unknowingly creating this repetitive neurological pathway that it becomes a pathological situation of a negative activation. A rumination usually is just excessive self-talk. It never turns off. But this excessive self-talk is treated as a mental illness because of the behavioral problems that it produces. It's not a mental illness. The behavioral problems that's being produced is the result of repetition. And so when we are not able to get involved in focusing on certainty instead of uncertainty, anytime there's uncertainty in the future, that leads to an anticipation in the present. And so unfortunately that uncertainty because we're not sure, especially now because the climate has changed. The dominant culture is dominant because they keep repeating the same frequency, the same rumination. It ruins a nation. A rumination is the only way to ruin a nation. If I can get a group of people to always be uncertain about the future because of gas prices, food costs, it underpins and it has a huge range of psychological effects because we are not designed to function in negativity and stress because it activates the stress hormones and it put us in tunnel vision. And so when we break down the psychology behind over understanding that when you are literally in a detrimental psychological process, because this repetition, but it's usually below the threshold of your consciousness. So you're going to act out fake jovial. You're going to show up on Facebook like everything is okay, but you have negative feelings of distress, but it's hitting below the dress. The negative feelings of distress is always hitting below the dress. So we dress up. We know how to put on a happy face. And it's a dangerous line between operating in faith and operating in a repetitive negative cycle that is called rumination. 99.99% of the people that I talk to are in that state. I know because I was in that state. Everything I talk about is because it's an awareness. And this awareness keeps you trapped in that negative habit pattern. Because when you are in this constant, repetitive, it never, ever, ever, ever turns off. It's always playing, but it's below the threshold of your consciousness. So you think you've overwritten the negative habit pattern. All the while, that negative habit pattern is still playing in the background. And so when we talk about this obsessive thinking about an ideal or a situation or a choice, especially when it interferes with the normal functioning of the brain. Now, I never change, fight, or try to not express, expose, and expand my cells, negatively or positively. I embrace the reality. I bloom where I'm planted. I monetize. If I catch a squirrel, then we eating squirrels. If I catch a frog, we eating frogs. If I catch a chicken, we eating chicken. If I don't catch nothing, then we eating plants. So, in other words, I bloom where I'm planted. Most people have a difficult issue because they have morals and beliefs. They have certain things that say, oh, I'm sorry, brother, I don't eat that. Now, it's great when you are in a position to be able to choose that. Enjoy it while you can. And it's interesting because even if, remember, it doesn't matter whether it's financial or whether it's in your body or whether it's in your mind or whether it's in your relationship. There's going to be turbulence. It's okay. We're designed for turbulence. We are turbulent spankers. We have the gift of spanking turbulence. And so tonight we're talking about that power that you have. It's a dunamis power to spank turbulence. So you got to be okay with oscillating and vibrating in and out of turbulence, regardless of what it is, because now you understand the value of rumination. So when you really get to the place where I'm at, you understand like I understand. Like right now, as I tell you guys all the time, I'm in a space where I've always been since birth. That is, I'm extreme. I'm not a regular guy. All I did was took the labels and removed them because they were limits. I'm still the same guy. I still have all of the same quote unquote psychological issues. I still have the same mental problems. I still understand that I can choose to be in a cycle of negative thinking, or you guys can do the same thing that I've learned how to do. To turn that cycle into a cycle of positive thinking. It's the same cycle. I just choose a different topic. Since you're already in it, everybody's in it. The universe is designed to make sure that you are obsessed. We all are functioning, OCD, ACD, DID, fill in the blank. It doesn't matter. Just pick one. Pick all of them. The more, the better. So when you get away from the negativity or the negative connotation with being, if you got ADHD, that's good. If you got EDHD, no matter what you got, it's good. Because now you have something that somebody else don't got. So the people that don't have my high highs and my low lows, they can't go where I can go. I can go to the hood and I'll be fine in the hood. You probably can't go to the hood. Your energy gives you away. You can have what you don't have. Your energy shows up way before you do. You can't fake it. Now, you can live in a gated neighborhood, or you can live amongst the white folks like I do. But if the shit is the fan, and the black folks come into the white folks' neighborhood, or vice versa, if the Klan come to my house to burn some crosses, I'm locked and loaded. I'm ready. I don't have no moral intrepidity that would limit my locking and loading ability. I'm truly 100% okay. But you came to my house and you put the cross in my yard. I didn't go to your house. So when you get to this level of understanding, you have days like I had today that's normally a setback for most people. But it's not a setback for me because I understand ruminations. I understand the rumors that create nations. So right now there's rumors that there's going to be a, economic doomsday. There's rumors that, Trump going to go to jail. There's rumors that Biden's too old. There's rumors that going to be World War III. There's rumors. Some of these rumors are true because we make them true. So rumors are designed to rumble. So a ruminations is a powerful syndrome. It's a psychological dis-ease. It's a psychological disorder. So when you are suffering from a rumination, it simply means that there are personality traits in your personality. There's some unprocessed trauma or stress that's creating the mental conditions for a excessive reoccurrence. So a rumination is just an excessive reoccurrence. Well, we all are reoccurrences. So in order for you to exist, there must be an excessive reoccurrence. So all they're doing is they taking normal shizness and they're turning it into a syndrome so that way it would decrease your knowledge of it. So as a celestial body acting as a conduit for cosmic energy, I can access the dragon lines. I can access all type of Tiamat, a.k.a. Apsu, a.k.a. Leviathan, Kundalini, Kundabufa, Tantra sex, all of the cosmic energy I have access to because it requires deep knowledge and understanding of self. So when we talk about a rumination, we're talking about this excessive, unstoppable, supposedly. It can't stop. It's a repeated, it's an excessive reoccurrence. You can't stop worrying. Remember, these are always presented to you as a flaw. So every solution is presented to you as an obstacle first to see if you can buy it. And I'm selling it because I'm the bad guy. If I'm the bad guy, I'm going to sell you the solution as a problem. And so you're gonna swallow it, hook, line, and sinker, because nobody's telling you the opposite. So we're not presented with the truth. We just got King James. So we don't know that a rumination is just this deep thought about something. It's not positive or negative. So why is it a disorder? Why is, based upon modern psychology, this is a major psychological disorder and you need treatment, bro? They need to put you in a short bus and put a metal helmet on your skull and strap your ass down in a straitjacket so you won't hurt yourself. Why? What the fuck's wrong with you? You have a reoccurrence. But unfortunately, nobody told you how to change the subject that's reoccurring. So tonight we want to give you the keys, the 3 keys to change the subject of your reoccurrence. So you can call it O, C, D, C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. It doesn't matter. Those are all labels. Labels are limits. So why would you want to limit your frequency, wave, and vibration? So when we're talking about a rumination, we're talking about this repeated thinking about a negative experience, a past scenario, a future event. But it's always OCD. It's always bad. What if you could flip the script? Then you would become a walking, talking, breathing ATM machine. Guess what happens? When you do that, then you start having rich people problems. You have problems like I have. You have problems like, we don't want, this bed. We want this one. Or we don't want this car. We want that car. Or, we don't want to go to Harvard. We want to go to Yale or Princeton. So we don't want to buy, it's wild. So I got, 2 kids in college. My oldest daughter, she's going, with the house flooding and all of this stuff. So rich people problems. Now, remember, you have, quote unquote, problems, opportunities, or obstacles on your level based upon your own internal technology. So you cannot meet anybody unless you're the same frequency of that body. You cannot, let me rephrase that. You cannot stay with that way. See, the only way, like relationship issues, they happen because people started off on the same frequency. One person went up, the other person went down. They didn't grow together, they didn't go down together, or they didn't stay together. So they became unequally yoked. But they started off, everything was hunky-dory. And then people will be like, oh, man, what happened to Jim Bob? But, just look at the frequency. Look at the wave. Look at the vibration. The shit's right there. It's right there. It's like, bam. It's like staring you right in the face. And so I think about people like, and just no diss nobody, but, my ex-wife from my first marriage. Wild. It's a repetitive, constant about old shit that I did back in the day. Is it true? Absolutely. My only question is, what the fuck are you going to do about it? That would be my question to you and to her, or to anybody that's having intrusive thoughts. So these thoughts that just come in, they just kick the door down. They don't ask, Brother Rich, can I come in and hang out, bro? Nope, that's not how I go, Brother Rich. And these are obsessive, compulsive disorders. They're OCD. They feed off each other. This shit's unhealthy. But why is it unhealthy? Because it puts too much stress on the mind. But why? Because it's a vicious cycle. What kind of vicious cycle, though? Well, what is it? It's a vicious cycle of shit that happened in the past, shit that's happening in the present, and shit that's coming up on today's the 5th, but something's coming up on the 15th. So it's the 5th, but you stress the fuck out on the it's the 5th, but it's the the shit is not happening till the 15th. You got 10 days to figure it the fuck out, but you can't because these intrusive thoughts. Been there, done it. I got 3 T-shirts. So this rumination, this repetitive thinking about negative experiences and past scenarios and concerns about the future, it repeats it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's the wild, wild west up here, y'all. Like, I cannot, like, the one-on-one I had today, and, it's the young couple I'll tell you guys about that's, fairly new, and I've been working with them for a while, and, like always, the husband doesn't want to talk to me. So he has another counselor, professional counselor, licensed, ordained. So the wife comes back and tells me the exact same shit I told her, the counselor told him. Because it has a whole lot more money than what I was charging, which is why I'm charging $1,000 now. But everybody else is paying $5,000. She's paying me $1,000 to tell her the same shit that the $5,000 counselor is telling her. Which basically, you're a mama's boy, can't make decisions. And so that empowers her mother take charge instinct. So she acts like his mama. Like I told her. Stop acting like his mama. What does that mean? Pull back. Well, what does that mean? But he can't make a decision. Don't say shit. Sit back. If he runs on into a tree, just put your seatbelt on. Keep your mouthpiece. Let his ass crash and burn. It's the only way he's going to fucking learn because mama made all of his decisions for him his whole life. He ain't got no balls. So he got some growth on him. But she cannot sit back and let him just fuck up shit. She got to interject, like all mothers. That's the problem. Therapist told her the exact same thing I told her 6 months ago. Remember, God, I told you she keeps doing good and doing good and doing good. It's like in the book, Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Ladies, when your man goes in his cave, leave his ass in there. You don't go in there. You wait till him to come out. When a man goes into a cave, that means when he's quiet. He ain't saying shit. He goes ghost. That means that he got a problem that he can't figure out. So if you go in there, what happens? He lashes out because he's stressed the fuck out. He wants to be a man, but he don't know how to be a man. So he's figuring it out, like I had to. So I had to figure it the fuck out. Now, it took me a while because I didn't have nobody telling me what I'm telling you. Now, it works in the same way financially. So if you wasn't raised in a financially sound environment like me, where you were just raised like me, payday to payday, shoot from the hip, so what's going to happen? You get a little paper, you're going to make the same mistakes. And you're going to feel bad. And your family's going to think like, damn, dog, what happened to you, brother? And what happens? Oh, there we go. That 3-stranded cord that's not easily broken. Y'all know what it is. Emotional damage, emotional blackmail, guilt tripping, toxic shame. And then what happens? You keep doing those 3 until they become OCD. Now it's on automatic pilot. Now you're consciously saying the mantras. I'm healthy, I'm wise. You're reading the books, you listening to the shows, ain't shit happening. How come? Oh, well, I know, you may not be, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to give you the King James version. I'm not going to give you the King James version. What is the truth? The truth is, you are doing everything right. You just got the wrong subject. Everybody doing it. So everybody does the same thing. That's how the brain, in other words, you cannot be on this planet unless you got a pattern. It's illegal to be on the planet without a pattern. We're just not aware of the pattern. So you got a negative habit pattern. I remember all the conversations, man. Like I said, I love talking to people about their negative habit pattern. Because everybody says, you know it, I know it, I got one, you got one. So all I do is what? I just monitor my negative habit pattern. So in other words, if my waistline gets too big, then I say, fuck the pattern. I override my negative habit pattern. I eat less, exercise more. Drop back down, then I just go back to the same negative habit pattern. I ain't gonna change it. It is what it is. But what's the key though? What's the bigger issue? The bigger issue is there's some unpleasant thoughts that's buried inside of your brain. And so these thoughts that are popping up is because you're getting triggered. So now they become intrusive. So when these intrusive thoughts, because they're unwanted, they are persistent. They are creating mental images that are repeating involuntarily. So look at the problem and let's reverse engineer the problem. So number one of these reoccurring thoughts, they are involuntary. Look at the pattern, man. This shit is involuntary. So the first thing that you got to do is turn the involuntary into voluntary. That's the hardest thing to do because it requires you to notice the persistent, unwanting, unsettling thoughts that's creating the mental images. So we've got to turn the involuntary into voluntary. It is real easy. Trust me. Because it happens so often that it's permanent. When you reminisce, when you ruminate, or a rumination, or ruminate, what you are doing is you're daydreaming, watching a movie, playing a mindless game on your phone. You have to do something to avoid the conscious awareness of what is taking place. So all I did was I noticed my coping mechanism. That's why I wrote the book on the coping mechanism. And I wrote down all of the coping mechanisms that we do. Everybody has something. I know that it's like everybody's different. I know my wife, she walks and she takes her hand and she twirls her hair. That's when I tell her, and the first thing out of her mouth, oh no, honey, everything's fine. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll talk to you in 3 days. It's so, to me, it's obvious because that's my job, to notice my pattern and to notice hers, because we're in the same house together. So if we weren't in the same house, then I wouldn't give, same thing with the kids. That's my job. I don't say anything because I understand because of the way that we process information. So like we agreed in the beginning, there's an issue, she gets first right of processing when it comes to the kids. So now my oldest daughter is going to the same thing, and I was telling her today, was talking to her about the new house. I'm like, why does the stepdaughter, because her husband has a daughter from a previous relationship, has a room in the house, and she's only there every other weekend? I just started laughing because Charlie was like, you know, Dad, stop playing. You have to treat the step kids better than yours. Otherwise, you already know what's going to happen. I've seen it happen a zillion times. It's comical when people don't address the elephant in the room. Of course, the biological parent is going to be more. That's when people tell me, oh, I treat them all the same. Bullshit. We just tell ourselves the shit because it makes us feel good. We want to act like, well, no, not me, brother, praise Jesus. But it's human nature. We all lie to ourselves. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, you got to own your dirt. It is what it is. That's a rumination. So a rumination is a relentless cognitive pattern where your thoughts and your ideas leads or exposes an unwanted urge. That's all it is. It's unwanted. You want to treat all the kids the same, but you got an unwanted urge to treat your kids because those are your kids. So if you're not, then you should get your head checked out. Something might be wrong up there. This preoccupation triggers because you feel bad because you love your kids more than the stepkids. But you don't love them more, you love them different. So when you get behind the psychology of it, you get rid of all the guilt because it's not that you treat them different, that you love them more, that you just, no, it's just that it's a different type of connection because that fucking kid came out of your body. It's just, it is what it is. It is not better, it's not worse, it's different. So we got to allow ourselves not to be triggered by certain behaviors and mental acts of other people because society says something. Because that creates this compulsive disorder that shows up in your thoughts and it destroys your paper. Because this fear contaminates your goodness. So when you're suffering from obsessive compulsive disorder, that's really all it is. All you're doing, if you look at all of the science behind it, your brain structure and your brain function, like when they put my ass on the machine, your internal process is different from other people. So some people have a precursor, the structure in your frontal cortex and what they call the subfrontal cortex brain structure. The neurons that are connected have some abnormalities. So all it simply means. It just simply means that usually, back when you was a youngin', certain events happen. Number one, social isolation. So when, as a child, if you were socially isolated, the second thing was what they call not having access to certain academic standards. Meaning, if you grew up in an environment where you went to a bad school, if you grew up in a home where, like I did, where there was 13 kids and one parent. So we grew up in a poor neighborhood. So I didn't go to an all-white school. I went to an all-black school. We didn't have jack. And I was, socially isolated, which made me socially awkward. And then, number 3, relationship difficulties. So if you went to a bad, or if you did not have, you was economically or academically disenfranchised. If you was academic, and if you were socially isolated, you didn't get a chance to hang out with your peers, and you get the love and attention, blah, blah, blah. All of that then creates a precursor. It doesn't do anything. It just means, okay, you're more susceptible to the effects of rumination. Now, there's different types of rumination. We ain't going to even get into that because at the base, at the core, they still all the same. It simply means that I'm experiencing a highly stressful feeling before the stressful event happens. So, let me say it again. At the root cause of all of these intrusive thoughts that produces these feelings, there's a substandard academic exposure. There was some isolation, some social isolation, where you were not socially able to, let's use the word, bond and, connect with, your quote-unquote peers. And you got to remember, this is just a psychology. This is I'm not going to say excuse. This is just the science that they, quote-unquote, tell us based upon all of the statistics. You guys know that statistics are a dime a dozen. And then the last thing is the relationship issues with, usually the parent, person in a perceived position of authority. That just gives you what is called a precursor. But the bottom issue, the bottom line, the problem, before we get to the solution, which we've already talked about, number 1 being, now you got to go from involuntary to voluntary. Like every issue on earth, there's some trauma somewhere that hasn't been processed. When you have a ruminating thought, a continued worry about a coming event, it doesn't stop. Your brain is just possessed, because that's what it is. But remember, all of this starts with cruel, harsh, and unjust treatment that happened when you was a child. That's the only way I can lower your mental state, because you're all born. Remember, you are a celestial body acting as a conduit for cosmic energy. You are a God in a body. So you came here with an A. Sometimes, some kind of way you dropped down your grade point average. You went down from 4.0 down to 2.0. You went from an A down to a D. So what happened? What events happened that lowered? But what events? The events was cruel, harsh, and unjust. So you got to acknowledge that first before we can talk about the solution. Everything that's right now, what you're feeling is real. This shit is not make-believe. What happened to you in your childhood, in your adulthood, shit, it could be happening right now. There's people in relationships right now. That shit is like, you're treated like garbage. Like, what the fuck? This is 2022. 2024. Why the fuck you still dealing with that issue? People on their jobs talking to you crazy? Oh, hell no, dog. The fuck you think? No, this ain't worth it. Man, mail me my check. You got options, man. So whenever you now remember, this is everybody's definition of cruel, everybody's definition of harsh, and everybody's definition of unjust is different. But that's the only way a person can happen. Cruel, harsh, and unjust. Now remember, for all y'all Joel Osteen Christians, breaking the nail does not count as cruel, harsh, and unjust. I know for you, some of y'all, well, we're going to leave that alone, but you know what I'm saying. Some of us, we over-amplify non-issues. Cruel, harsh, and unjust. So number one, what's the solution to get out? We got the problem, Doc. We got intrusive thoughts. My brain doesn't turn off. At night, I can't sleep. I'm always thinking about, man, and I'm in it. Like right now, bad shit is happening to me. And for whatever reason, like I was telling my daughter today, we was talking about different things and starting DDA branch here and, just going through different options just because of the new market. And we was talking about, establishing a DDA or Dynasty Dance Academy here in San Antonio, which I've been telling her to do for a long time because she's from here. And then she moved up to Dallas. So we're looking at different options, not only for her, but also for me. So that is a voluntary activity that we engage in. So what I do every morning and every day is I notice what I'm not noticing. So what thoughts that you can't put off? They won't let you. Who are we talking about? See, there are thoughts you can't put off. You want to put it off, but come on, man. Like, let's be for real. Y'all, let's stop playing. I don't know if y'all like boots on the ground. My boots on the ground. There's some shit going on that you can't put off. It has to be addressed. But we live in a world where it's a trick. This is almost impossible. Because now you have to act as if you already have the solution to the problem. Now, what do I mean? This is the hardest, because voluntarily means when your thoughts don't have an off switch, they just come in because this shit's real. The universe says you can't have what you need. Out of all the universal laws, I tell you guys all the time, this is the one I dislike the most. Because the universe doesn't care. So I don't like that word care. That's the only thing I hate about being a 6. Being a 6, you're a carer. You like love everybody, and you want, but we don't know that care means anxiety. Care means rumination. It means that anxiety means I got a preoccupation that I need to save you. I'm thinking about you like you broke, like you're a poor critter, which implies that I can't see you. I got to talk slow, man. I need y'all to get this. This is the most, at this level, this shit is dangerous. Now, if you just 3 steps up, but if you took the stairs and you're on the 6th floor, falling from the 6th floor over 40, that shit's painful. Then falling from the 3rd floor under 40. I'm not talking about some shit I read of a book, Brother Rich. This is real deal Holyfield. So this simply means that, so you telling me that the way the universe works, the universe says that problem that you have means there's a lack of awareness about what you have. But you're focusing all of your awareness on what you don't have. You just disrespected God. Unfortunately, God don't play. Not the real one. The universe is like, it doesn't give a fuck how old you are. It don't. It doesn't care. The universe is ruthless. That's what the Bible says. Ruthless men retain rich. Retain wealth. You got to wake up every morning. You got to whoop ass and take names. If you don't, somebody going to whoop your ass and take your name. That is the way it works, man. I hate to be the bearer of good news. What does it mean? So what do I have? See, the universe only responds when you notice what you have. Because to him that have, more shall be given. Now, this is the only way I got it. I voluntarily, because I am being involuntarily overrun by reality. Now, I live in the real world, I can tell y'all. I'm not one of them. So when you live in the real world, you got to deal with the real world issues. What does that mean, though? That means that it's a constant awareness of the rumination. Everybody has this on this level, on some level. Some of us have it a little bit more than others because we're like, all 6s suffer from this. If you're 6, you know what I'm talking about. If you're 6 right now, you have a preoccupation with a family member, with a friend, with a loved one, with your mama, with your daddy, with your monkey, with your squirrel, because you're 6 by design. So guess what? Do what I do. I have no problem. But I create it in a way that what is called bootstrapping. I learned this from my boy James Paulson because that's what he did for me. So he assists me in a way that allows me to maintain my integrity. Like partnershiping or like providing funding, but the funding was tied into a business that was based upon generating a profit. This wasn't no nonprofit organization, meaning that you got to come to me. It's like I loved it. Like, man, when I was with my buddy Nick, one of the first guys. This was way back in the day, and I paid for his plane ticket to fly from New Mexico to Texas. I paid for his lunch, and then I presented my idea. He said, I didn't give a fuck about the idea. I just needed you to have some skin into the game. Then he wrote me a check, signed it, and just filled in the amount. Just gave me a blank check. That's happened to me 3 times. Real gurus that understand the game, that's what they do. It's easy to tell real from fake. Real people, oh man, they're all in. If you connect with a frequency wave of vibration that's real, They've already been where you at. It's easy for me to know somebody that's real. Like I do with all the shows. That's why I do it that way. Like, I never offer it. I just see if anybody's going to say, hey, Doc, I don't have the money, but I can pay you half now, half later, do this, I can do that. The people who call me and text me, no problem. Most people don't. They just assume. That means that they're not in. They don't want it to class. Not really. They say that to appease themselves. Because they really know that I know. But they got to live with themselves. Because of the three words that we said at the beginning of the show that keeps everybody broke. Especially black folks. Which is emotional damage. Emotional blackmail. You blackmailing yourself. Then you guilt trip yourself. And then you shame yourself. Toxic shame. You feel bad. I don't know why. Well, we all do. Because we all grown, man. We all know. Everybody knows what works and what doesn't work. Everybody knows what you do and what you don't do. You know if you're working out. And you know if you're overeating. You know if you smoke too much. You know if you drink too much. You know if you watch too much porn or too much TV. You know what you're doing wrong. You don't need no reverend, no doctor, no bishop, or nobody to tell you. You know right from wrong. You know if you're spending too much time with or giving too much money or too much this or too much that, but you keep doing it anyway. But the question is, why are you doing it? Well, you're 6. Okay? So don't stop it. So now what do? You monetize it. So the person that you're helping, you make sure they help themselves. Because that's what happens. When they get on top, they're going to remember everything that you did. Just like I'm talking about my mentors, I wrote a book about them. Every time I get I have to hang out, every time I get to call them, hey, man, I'll never forget them. When I die, their names will be on my lips. Why? They saved my life. 3 white men saved my life. That's living. The people that I'm helping, I got 3 people on payroll that I don't even have work. I still pay them every week. All the money I get, I give to other people. I'm behind on my bills to make sure that other people can pay their bills. I don't know if y'all understand the real world. Not you personally, but who you know. This is a circulation of increase. It's magnetism. What goes around comes around. That's why I'm always blessed. Always. When I lose, I win. Because I overstand what I'm telling you today. And that is, take your preoccupation with your current reality. Acknowledge where you are at. Do not lie to yourself or anybody else. But then ask yourself, what do I have? You see, number one, there's a involuntarily over-excessive occupation of the truth, which is you got more bills than money, you got more calories, you are holding on to more calories than you're burning, you ain't the brightest bulb in the pack, and you might be a mama's boy or a lady's, father's girl or whatever you want to call it. So you got a problem in one of the 4 areas, really 5. Okay, so what do you do? Okay, what do I got? Okay, this is what you got. Everybody on this call, we already talked about at this level, you got your first letter in your first name, that number, you got that. So you ain't got to work for it. You ain't got to research it. You ain't got to call, take no classes. You ain't got to do no sun gazing. You ain't got to do no Wim Hof. You ain't got to do no breathing techniques. You ain't got to fast. You ain't got to pray. You ain't got to be a vegan. You ain't got to do water diet. You ain't got to do shit. If you got a breath, if you can do this, you got it. So my name starts with a W. That's the number 4. That means I got stability. So the thing that makes people stable, I got it. Okay, then the next question is, okay, where the fuck is it? It's in the vowels of my name because that's feminine. Okay, what vowels I got in my name? As I said before, remember there's a lot of different ways to establish the game. The higher up you go in the game, the simpler the game gets. That's why you notice all the gurus are very complicated. It's like building a fucking quantum computer. quarks and neutrinos and muons and all that stuff, all of that shit, you know that's not source. Source and singularity is one. It's real simple. This is why there's no way all the shit that people are talking to me about at the highest level, I just laugh and say, I agree. My life is very simple. My exercise routine is very, very simple. Burn more calories than you consume. I don't give a fuck what kind of calories you consume. They still a calorie. People talk to me, well, brother, you got to do the hypothesis. Man, get out of here with that, dog. Like, that's Luciferian. Now, don't get me wrong, that's just levels, though. There's levels to this game. At the highest level of the game, there is no devil. There's only God. At the highest level of the game, you are the programmer. You are the program or the code, and you are the controller, and you are the character in the game. In the highest level of the game, it's just you. Nobody else. At the highest level of the game, this shit is wild. So you are thinking, or you're talking, or you're writing. Whatever you're thinking, talking, and writing creates a soul. The soul is the controller for the character or the body that's inside of 3D. So you create the 3D. Then you create the 5 chi that controls the 3D. But you live up in 9 chi or 9 ether. You're a 9 etheric being. But you drop down to 5th dimensional mind, will, emotion, imagination, intellect. Your 5 drops down again to 3. And then the 3 operates the 2 and the 1. So you literally are playing all characters. You are the writer, you are the director, you're the screenplay, you work in the lights, you're the leading character, you're the bad guy and the good guy. You playing all the roles, but you just forgot that you wrote the script. You forgot. All I'm here to do is remind you of one thing. You have been given. So what I do is I just focus on what I have. I don't focus on what I don't have. So every morning I wake up, I tell myself, Doc, what you got, bro? Okay, I got 3, 3, 6. I can operate on that level. That means I'm a very creative, imaginative communicator. That's what I'm doing right now. Then I get off this phone, then I say, oh, Doc, what else I got? Okay, I got a 5, I got a 5, I got a 5, and a 4. So 2 5s and a 4. In other words, I got vowels. The vowels in my name are all 5s. The 4 is actually the letter of my name. So that means I got 5, 5, 5. It's like fun. It's fabulous. Twirling in the wind. Freedom. If anybody knows me, man, most people don't like me. Like, honestly, because I don't work hard. People get pissed the fuck off when they find out what I do for a living. For real. Like, everybody. My wife was telling me today, like, God damn, I wish I had your fucking job. Then why don't you quit? Well, no, okay. So why? So what do? So when I wake up in the morning, I go work out. Take my time, finish my workout, then what I do? Go take a shower. Then what I do? Go check my email. Then what I do? I send out all of my text to my DKN report process. If I got some reports, then I send them out. If I don't, then I'm like, nothing to do today. If I have something else that they can work on, they can redo this, that, and the other for me, then okay. If I don't have no work, I just send them the money. Say, okay, see you guys next week. So I pay them every week. Whether they work or not, they get paid. But I know them because they're family members. Well, my wife's family members, and I know they need the money. Then I go on and check my social media, and then I do my 3, 4, 5, 10 TikTok videos. I put them on YouTube, put them on blah, 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 blah. Then, by then it's getting close to the inside, then I go work out. Oh, I got breakfast in sometime, depending on what diet I'm on. Then I also do the show, the morning show. Then after the evening workout, then I do the evening show. As soon as I have the phone here, I'm going there, and I'll probably make me a salad or something. Then I'll go in and watch Netflix. I'll find some movies that preferably have something esoteric. In fact, I'm on YouTube, on Rumble. I'm either giving information or receiving information. So, did I work? Nah. My wife gets like, I never go anywhere. I don't leave my house. Like that's why I didn't put that many miles on the vet. That's why it was so valuable. So I don't drive anywhere. If I go somewhere, it's because it's like whether go to Dallas in a couple of weeks for Alec because of college. So he's there for he got a full ride football scholarship. Got to go there and meet the coaches, check out the dorm room, drop him off at college. Since he's going, thankfully, worked out perfectly because he's going to school like 30 minutes from where my daughters live. So then I can go by and see the grandbabies and then come back to San Antonio and I'm, bam, in this chair. A lot of people don't like it. Father-in-law, mother-in-law came over today. Say, oh yeah, where's my son-in-law at? Well, I said, you know where he at? In his office, sitting in this chair. How about a transition sitting in this chair when I'm like 120? But what is the point, Doc? That's my definition of freedom and stability. That's it. All I do is peace, man. I don't do drama. I like a house, clean, peaceful. It can be noisy, like I talk to people like my daughter. I go over there and hang out with them. Man, there's 5 infants running around screaming, "Papa!" and but what? Children. I love children. So I raised 13 kids. I have no problem with kids. I love kids. So that's not noise to me. That sound, I miss that sound. I miss the sound of hearing my daughter Shamura when she coming in from school. So I say, man, you guys got kids, man, enjoy because they grow up fast. So that's number one. I only focus on what I have, and I give that. I only give freedom and stability to people. That's what I'm offering you tonight. Freedom and stability through under open understanding your numbers, not mine. So your job is to voluntarily focus on your own self to the degree that you know yourself. That is the degree that you know everyone else. You can only have a relationship with someone else on the level that you have a relationship with yourself. Let me say that again slow. You can only have a relationship with someone else on the degree that you have a relationship with yourself. Some people have relationship problems. They got self problems. I don't have no relationship problems because I just see people who choose not to love themselves for whatever reason because they had trauma, like I did. I used to have trauma too. It's okay. We all been through shit. It's just whether you want to continue to go through it or not. Number one is the most important thing. You have to stop by simply starting. Which is number two. The way that you stop is to start. But anytime that you want to stop smoking, start chewing gum. To start number one. I mean, it's not rocket science. When my brain is overwhelmed and I'm just like, I can't turn off, I'm worried, I'm stressed, how am I going to do this, I'm going to do this, I say, whoa, what do I have? Start thinking about what I have. Whenever I'm stressed, I stop myself and I say, hold up, bro. You're the most creative, imaginative, mother, communicative on the planet. How many books you got again? So I got all this shit out of so you can see behind me in all my videos. People like, oh, man, what the fuck is all of that hieroglyphics on your wall, dog? And you got pictures and stuff? Man, this is my office. I don't want no pictures of some other fool on my wall. I don't need no motivation stuff. I got my shit on the wall. It reminds me of my significance. So when you're on this level, there's no devil. It's just you. Only thing that exists in my world is me, myself, and I, all three of us. This shit is wild. It's awesome. It should be the same thing in your world. This is how you get over rumination, by totally being a pathological, obsessive thinking individual about your solution. Here's number 3. You see, I live in my desire fulfilled state. I say this all the time. Out of everything I read from the Think and Grow Rich and all of the Norman Vincent Peale books and Joseph Murphy, cybernetics, my boy, Nobel Goddard, Reverend Ike, Science of Mind, Wallace Wattles, the only thing matters, brothers and sisters, is the end state. Live, my boy, Dr. Michael told me, go to the end, back up and begin. That's it. Live in your desires fulfilled state. Live in the end. Don't live where you are. I remember, I'm not talking about what I did, where you just say, well, Jesus is going to pay my bills, so I'm not going to pay rent this month. And then you're not going to pay your car note, they come pick your shit up. That's what I'm talking about. When you live in your desire fulfilled state, you know what happens? The brain downloads what to do. It tells you, call this person, get this job. Or, depending on what level you're at. When I was homeless, it told me, go down there and watch what the homeless people do every day. I saw them walk around picking up cans, taking to the recycle center, so shit I started doing. I saw them donating blood and plasma, so shit I started doing. Then I moved up to the next level. Then I realized, oh, fuck, what am I doing? I'm a veteran. But I got the VA to pay for me, to take care of me. Some of you guys are not taking advantage of the government. There's programs out there, man. If there's a program, like, let's say you, like I was telling the wife, man, we started a business. Okay, she's black, she's a female, and this is the first bookstore open up, so we qualify for this business grant. Even though we didn't end up getting it because they had a bunch of other stipulations attached to it. But the whole point of the matter is what? Options. You got options. There's all types of programs that you qualify for right now. But, you look at, not you personally, but who you know. So depending on where you at, what level you at, look at your options. So one of the things I take advantage of is, like I tell you guys before, the rotating credit, the PayPal loans, and all that kind of stuff. Should I take advantage of that? Because I'm at that level. But when I wasn't on that level, what did I do? Should I work 3 jobs? When I wasn't on that level, what did I do? I did day labor. You go over there to the place every morning at 5, 6 a.m. Guys come by with a truck and say, hey, I need 3 guys to pack boxes. And dudes run and jump in the truck. It wasn't like, well, did I want to do it? Fuck no, I didn't want to do it. But I did what I had to do at the level that I was at. That's why I got here. Number one, I live in my desire fulfilled state. I know where I am at. I live there. In my brain, I'm already at my desire fulfilled state. And so now it's just a matter of time before it goes from my head into my hands. So when we reverse engineer this thing, we start now with the bottom. Because it becomes first because we've got to implement it. So you teach it, volunteer, to stop, start, live in the desired state. So we reverse it and engineer it. So number one, tomorrow morning, to overcome the rumination by activating the rumination. So all we're doing is swapping out the subject. So instead of you being totally obsessed with the problem, you're going to be totally obsessed with the solution. That's it. We're just changing off the subject. So instead of you worrying about all of what the things that could go wrong, just worry about, a.k.a. fantasize. That's what I do. Live in a fucking daydream. Just walk around in the dream state. Like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So that's what it requires. You must be obsessed with your desires fulfilled. The universe only responds to a made-up mind. So when you establish that it's your desire fulfilled state, you automatically do number two. You automatically stop worrying because you literally actually forget. You got to remind yourself, oh, shit, that's right. 15th is coming up. Then you go right back to zing because the thought's going to come automatically. So you just automatically replace them with number 3, voluntary. So the involuntary thoughts gonna come up. Yeah, you walk around here talking about, you sip a pina colada at the beach. You sit up here thinking you on fucking vacation, or you on a cruise. You drive around in a convertible Bentley, or living in wherever you living your dream. Your thoughts gonna come back and slap you in the mouth and say, "Wake up, Nick. That bill is coming." And you're like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. Damn. So how am I gonna pay it?" The universe doesn't respond to need. The universe only responds to people who know what they have. So what do I have? So the only thing that I have is, I have a body, I have a mind, I got a spirit, I got a soul, and I was born on a certain rate. I'm a 6th rate. That's what my life path. We talked about that. Remember the rays? Okay, what does that mean, though? If I'm a 33, if I'm born in September, what does that mean? Because break down what all of that means. Because that's what you got. And then based upon everything that you got, okay, I'm born on September the 15th. I'm a 969, but I got 12 numbers, 336, 123, 123, 549. My 4 core numbers are 6336. I got a name. That my name gives me a niche. My niche is based upon my narrative. Name, niche, narrative. You guys remember that? Month, date, and year. So we can keep going with, you got all kind of shit. But at the highest level, now if you're just starting, okay, you're going to take 750 pages, go to the dictatum. But if you're at my level, you got 1 page. Only thing on your page is the first letter of your name, the vowels that's in your name, and the path that's been established. That's it. So I got 336. That's the road I'm on. Where's it taking me to? 555. That's the vowels in my name. So I can do what? 4. That's a W. So when I wake up every morning, I replace my fear with my facts. Not faith. I got facts, bro. I don't have a wish and a hope. I got fucking facts. See, I know, because this is on my birth certificate. There's proof that I was born on September the 15th. Ain't got no video, but I got a fucking birth certificate. And the people that was there, most of them are gone already, but the people that say, "Yeah, boy, you was born, blah, 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 your mama," they tell me the stories about how I was born. So that's facts. I don't deal in make-believe. I deal only with facts. The only way to replace that negative habit pattern is if you got something that's more powerful. You need a more powerful disposition. Facts trump fiction. Any day. Show me some facts. So the universe responds to a Negro with a made-up mind that's based upon facts. And the facts are, you got a name. That name establishes your lane. Instead of going through all of the first name, last name, all that stuff, that's a lot of shit. Just give me your first letter of your first name. What is it? If you got your letter name, your name starts with an A. I always, I've been saying this since we got to this level. All the women, they got a name that starts with the letter A. Y'all are the original orphans on this planet. God forbid if your name starts with A and you have O blood, whether positive or negative. Because that means that you are the original archetype. You are the original female goddess. That means that in your blood veins, you got the mitochondria Eve gene. Most of those, and the 3 women on this card, y'all know y'all are, because your name starts with the letter A. Y'all gonna say no names? Sister Addie, Sister Mika, and Sister Arlene, Dr. Arlene Span. Yeah, but we're not gonna say no names though. We're not gonna say no names, Sister Addie. We're not gonna say any names, Sister Mika. We're not gonna say any names, Dr. Span. So the letter A is the most powerful octave on the planet. And it's when encapsulated inside of a free male. That means y'all have ego death. That means that probably you have the opposite. So you gotta operate in ego death. Ego death means you get rid of your ego. So when y'all operate in the ego, because you have the letter A in your name, which equates to the number one, but it's the premortal number one. It's not the meaning of the number one using numerology or using the Pythagorean system. You got to go to what the oral tradition. Then now they call that again the Kabbalist system, because those were the ones that kept the oral tradition going. They didn't write the shit down. And then when you find that significance, now this goes for everybody. And so when you go back, because that is the original Hebrew gematria, that controls the protein synthesis. That is the Aleph, the A-L-E-P-H. That is the esoteric meaning. One represents the innumerable supreme God. It is a symbol of the essence that represents the figure of, from a Christian perspective, the unique, universal, transcendent one, the first principle. That's the power of the Creator. They call it Agrippa. A-G-G-R-I-P-A. Number one means Agrippa. It's the innumerable. It means the one who contains himself, the principle of all things. That's why usually women with that number usually have a rough life, because you literally are the portal for God activating on this planet. That's why it's so important that we understand the Hebrew, going back to the original occurrence. The Aleph, A-L-E-P-H, is a numerical value of what we call the atomic number of hydrogen. It is the number one element of the universe. It's the constitution of water. It's the source of all life. You are the source of all life. That's why your ass on the planet. Now, once you got that knowledge, that's what you use to replace all other knowledge. So in the morning when you wake up, my three ladies with the letter A, that should be your disposition. When your problem walk up that says, how you going to do this, how you going to do that? Man, are you serious? I'm a supreme being. I'm the original source. I am the prime creator. Not a prime creator, the principle. And everybody else, when I wake up every morning, my problems show up, I say, man, are you serious? I'm a free spirit. I'm a 555. Fuck out of here. My letter means W. W. That's two of me. So one gets tired, the other one takes place. So I can go all day, every day, 24/7, 365. It's like I got a double portion. So I got a W. W. So when you understand the meaning, that's what you have. So when you think you don't have money, you give what you have in exchange for money. So when I wake up every morning, I say, okay, how do I package? How do I put what I have in the form of a product, a service or information that benefits other people more than it benefits myself? Put your energy in a fucking package, man. That's the only thing that we're not doing. We're so focused on what we don't have that we get more of what we don't have. Focus on what you got, man. What do you got? Especially, you got the letter A, because you're the prime creator. I love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Because you know what? I know where all y'all live, man. I'm not scared. I show up at y'all house. You know what I'm saying? Okay, y'all, just playing. Just playing, Sister Coleman. Just playing. Man, I love you guys. See y'all tomorrow. God bless.